Well, friends, last time I didn't finish the video about the wiring of the 59's Les Paul GREENIE. I didn't finish the wiring without pulling it in the guitar. I hope that all other manipulations were already obvious. But as your comments showed, not everything turned out to be so obvious. So let's continue. I also made a new kit, because that wiring on which I worked, it has been in the guitar for a long time, and the guitar has long been far away. So we will work with the new kit. What we need to do now? We need to solder the jack. Jack is a switchcraft, simple as a stick, but very reliable. It's not stereo, but mono. That is, it has one leg for signal, and the second for the ground. So, it's better to take it off right away, so that the ground doesn't short any leg of the potentiometers and spoil our sound. We have to put this screen in a shielding tubing. Previously, we used vinyl tubing. Now we can use a shrink tube. Vinyl tubing is a bit harsh, and shrink tube is a little thinner, a little more comfortable and easily accessible. We just put it on and leave it that way. First, we solder this signal, this leg. We solder the signal. And now, winding up like this, we get the ground screen here. Jack is ready, and we put the tube here, so that the contact itself never intersects with the ground. We do this right in the guitar, when these wires are stretched, because it's impossible to work along with the jack. A modern Les Paul may work out, because this passage is made a little wider. But the vintage Les Paul will not work, so we stretch the wires separately. Then solder the jack in the straightened wires. So, let's imagine it's all in the guitar. This is how it will be. Here we have the neck, here's the bridge, here's volume, and here's tone. Here goes jack. Here the neck position, here the bridge from the switch. So, the contact, this contact from the switch, which will be responsible for the neck position that we have marked, we solder to the same middle leg, to which our capacitor is soldered. That's it. It's ready. Try to keep the tails, that the tails of these wires in your guitar are not too large. Cut them so that they fit into this hole normally, and so that is neat, so there is nothing irrelevant left. Cut it to the size yourself. We do exactly the same. If you are soldering directly in the guitar, it's better to cover the back side of the guitar with a towel, so as not to accidentally drip with solder on the varnish, because a stain will appear, a crater may appear. Of course, it can be repaired easily, but it is better to do everything neatly and clearly. Signals are soldered, and now we are soldering, figuratively speaking, we are soldering the wires from the sensors. Let's say it will be a bridge sensor. It's a wire from the bridge sensor. We solder the bridge sensor to the volume potentiometer in the bridge position on the first leg here. And we also solder our imaginary neck sensor on the neck leg, on the neck position of volume potentiometer. Let's imagine this is a neck sensor. If you are going to very often, like me, rearrange the sensors in your guitar and constantly unsolder the ground from the potentiometer cover, then I advise you to make a small loop, like a leg, out of this wire, and solder like this on the potentiometer cover, and solder the sensor ground to it, so as not to warm up the potentiometer cover again, because if you ever overheat it, you can simply ruin the potentiometer. And in order not to make myself an unnecessary headache, I soldered additional legs on a volume potentiometer on both positions that I constantly solder and unsolder with the ground. Now we are laying these wires. Well, you will have them laid anyway. Neatly. Do not forget here, you have a ground wire from the bridge too, to remove the noise when you play the guitar. Yes, sometimes, of course, a guitar can give you an electric shock if there are problems with connecting power grids to amplifiers, microphones, so there can be such a problem. But more on that another time. We warm up the braid so that it is saturated with solder. Since the caps of the potentiometers are usually already tinned, I don't know, with zinc tin, then the ground is soldered on them very quickly. You have to do it quickly. You can, of course, immediately put a drop on the potentiometer cover to do it all faster. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. We put it up, solder it, that's it. Well, in general, that's all. We did not forget to solder the ground here. Everything should work out. How the 50s wiring works and what is the main difference from modern standard wiring, I will tell in the next video. And if you have ever used and compared the pinout of the 50s and the modern ones, and you have experience using it, write in the comments about your feelings and maybe your tips for use, your life hacks, because there are a lot of nuances in the 50s pinout that are very interesting. So, now I say goodbye to you.
Rock and roll for all.